going to campgrounds, the old DM6. The teams remaining the same. Dimitri Chubb, Spawns and Kinku for Lemmings Effect, and Sitto, Dimitri, Flash, Q50 and Zyrinx. Yes, they are going to remain the same. Campgrounds for, again, single power-up map.
Single power-up map where
one
we
yellow
might
armor
actually
again.
not see a single pickup of it survive more than a second or two.
It's not the greatest map for power-up runs, is it? And we saw the previous map. You don't get
You
that
can
many
get
power-up
good
runs.
power-up runs on it, it's just the likelihood of surviving the pickup is unfortunately quite low. It's such a hard area to get in and out of alive. Obviously, anyone not familiar with this map in TDM, quad spawns where Mega would spawn in duel.
Yeah, of course. Red
And
armor
the red
and yellow
armor is where yellow is, yeah.
switched. And from the Quake 3 days, the lightning gun and the plasma gun are switched positions, although that has been in pretty much from the start of Quake Live.
Not in duel.
Oh, is it not in duel?
No.
Interesting. So how do you expect the teams to kind of play this? What are the key areas to control? Where we see most of the combat for?
Well, hard to predict how these teams will play it, but often you would see one team that will look to control the red, and on the other side of the map you have the yellow and the rail, but almost the rail is more important than the red is more important than the lightning gun and the yellow armor in some ways. It's not always easy to use lightning gun on this map. You know, it's a very strong gun still anytime you're in a good position to use it, but railgun is a really important gun. You can shoot across the map from so many positions. Getting a railgun to red armor is often so important because it allows you to shoot out from the red armor position and makes it difficult for teams to get onto the railgun pickup point. You know, they have to make the jump from the bridge. But yeah, I'd say red armor, railgun, they're the key parts of the map.
Often you see players playing a really clever game as well, especially once they've got a rail around that lightning gun yellow. Controlling lightning gun yellow, getting to bridge, railing across to people moving out from red. It's really effective play. Quad runs on this map, though, we said often it will just get eliminated very quickly, but if you can get a quad run out, it's akin to something like Hidden Fortress, where you can pick up a hell of a lot of frags.
Yeah, you can take, varying routes that are, dependent on how much armor you have. You can look to go really fast and aggressive and traverse the map in no time at all, or you can take, safer routes that can still yield a lot of frags, but aren't quite as swift.
Prepare your team.
So here we go, 5 seconds to go until Campgrounds returns to Quake Live TDM. And here we are, following spawns off the start, getting that bridge spawn, and the rocket launcher is first. Here's Flash, so lucky to land on that health and just survive that little bit longer, those Zyrinx, to get in the avenging kill. And there's a big rush and fight over this yellow side of the map. A lot of spawns in this area.
Yeah, and now that lightning gun is on this side of the map, it does change things a lot. That's two of the strongest weapons on the map, pretty close to each other.
I'm going to presume that Sitto have control of the red cycle.
Yeah, they've taken 2 reds so far.
Well, Chubb's got an LG and a rail, defended this quad point. It is a late spawn though, so he's going to be caught out quite badly dropping down that early. We see this pit of death as just everybody's dropping into it. And Dino, though, Sitto have got good positions on it with good weapons. Look at spawns though with that railgun and rocket. It's going to be almost the end of the minute, this spawn. Of course, that first quad is a random time. Look at the rush! Everybody's trying to get in there. I think Q50 grabbed it in the end.
Yeah.
But it's railed. Good rail from Dimitri, getting the frag on Q50.
Yeah, he just waited until Q50 was making a jump.
And good control of the railgun by Lemmings Effect at the moment. No rails on the map, I'm going to presume from that. I'm going to cycle away and have a look at red. Kinku trying to defend against 3 rushing Sitto players. Does get a frag on Q50 on that occasion. Let's cycle around and see. Well, Dimitri has picked up the red arm now. This is a map where you definitely want to be using that red arm.
Yeah, I mean, your options are you push out, secure the rocket launcher and maybe try and dominate the bridge area, or you go straight off from the red and look to go straight to rail. But, you really have to make use of that red. And then some games it plays out differently. Sometimes you might need the red just to defend the red, depending on how aggressively the other team pushes it. But it looks like we're seeing a game where both teams are happy with their two sides of the map.
There's a
red
little bit
versus
of aggression,
yellow.
but it's not insane. It's not like the proper cess that we just saw on Retribution. And Ellie
But at the
taken
moment-
the lead again.
Yeah, and Ellie are doing very well on these railguns. Like I said, it's such a vital weapon. You can see, we were watching spawns then, you know, the kill he just picked up. When he stood on that bridge and you're trying to push out from red, and it's quite difficult to get past someone railing.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a red army, you could potentially just take 2 rails before you've got round the corner and into the safety of the rocket launcher base. So that red armor's completely gone by that point. Just nullifying that advantage you might get. But it's only a 2-frag game now, 15 seconds before the next quad on the map as Q50 blows himself up. They switch around a little bit. All the Sitto players have just died. All of them. And we're on Dimitri for Lemming's effect 5 seconds before the quad. They've all dropped down there and there's rockets raining down. Quad instantly dispatched by Flash on this occasion. Nice rockets, very nice rockets. Run out of ammo though, gotta wait 5 seconds for this red. I think he is going to gather it in unless he runs away from it. Surprisingly, players just going straight up the bounce pad like that. He spawned,
Yeah,
just
although
ran right up the bounce
in that case, you know, it is random. It would have been luck, but Chubbs could have done a lot of damage to Flash because he didn't have any ammo in any gun other than machine guns, so he could have lost a lot of his red armor.
Flash using that red to try and move out, but he's taken so much damage he's going to have to back off now. His teammate getting the red armor. Let's switch around and see who that was. It was Dimitri. Moved out to the midfield, takes a couple of rockets straight away, and is he just going to have to back off here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that's such a good thing to do with a red. I mean, as I say, places you want to look to get to are either the bridge or the railgun with that red armor.
It's slowed down quite a lot now, the game has cycled to the other side of the map. Dimitri for Ellie on top of this railgun position. We've seen him play that in the early map. Nice rockets, defends it, and he grabs that rail. He doesn't give it away. He's got to be careful though, only 41 health. Still got to be... The 225s are up. He backs off to them. He's got a teammate sort of surrounding him in support. 5 frags the difference.
Nice rails.
Very nice.
And really, they are doing so well at the moment, Ellie, on rail control, and it's a really big part of this map is rail control.
Kinku does have a rail in his hands. He should keep that really, with his armour. I think that was a
just
rail
give up
pickup.
one more, yeah.
A few seconds before this quad might get in on it. Good rocket defence. Dimitri grabs it for Sitto. He's managed to escape. He's got a long
No
time
red
to wait
for
for
him,
red, yeah. And his rocket launcher. And it's a difficult weapon to utilise with a quad, but his shotgun might be a little bit more comfortable to use that one. And he heard someone come in high behind him at red. I don't think he's going to be able to do too much with this quad run. Let's see what he does. Now he's picked up this red. Might get a couple of frags right at the end here. Spawn's going down. He is Kinku, and he's confiscated that rail. That's excellent play then.
Yeah, he should take this rail really.
Oh, that is
red,
suicidal.
but, yeah, I mean, wow, he may yet still live this.
Wow.
But yeah, very fortunate to live. But you know,
Clutch.
railgun's so effective if he takes it back to red.
They
and he
haven't
doesn't
had a
make
rail
it.
there either yet.
I mean, so often you'd see, you know, when people ever manage to steal a rail, it's an absolute rush to kill them before they can get it back to red, because you know, we've seen so many good players in the past, say like Fox for IC. I mean, you get him a rail at the red,
die.
it's possibly game over. It's that important. So there is railgun ammo available at red. Of course, now the boxes are only worth 5 ammo, so...
Q50 defending that red really effectively. Let's see who took that red armour. It looks like it's Flash, and he's gone to the rail position. Sitto just starting to come back into this really with their red play. They always combated so effectively. I mean, the kind of damage that Ellie are dishing out on them every time they move out, really effective. And Ellie just seem to be grouped together a little bit better at the moment.
Well, yeah, they played a very tight game, mainly around a yellow lightning gun and rail, and you know, tight game on those items can be very effective if the red is not being used to its fullest.
Just remember the really effective weapons in Quake, obviously at distance and then getting the kills, the lightning gun and the rail, very close proximity to this yellow side of the map, so playing that side, you do have quite a nice advantage there. Not a strong positionally, but Dimitri picks that up, he's actually survived it out with it as well. Dropped the LG,
Red for him as well.
Red's up, oh look at that, Kinku almost taking him out, but he didn't, that's the important thing, and now he's got to be cautious, oh. 5
Yeah,
health.
can't go that way. He needs to look for health.
He saw that 25 across the map. It used to be a 50. It's now.
This is a really nice run, though.
And he stopped that railer. He's just going to take him into the lead here. He's run out of LG ammo, and he's caught out. But that was a very good run.
Yeah, and those are the sort of quad runs you can get as long as you can survive the pickup. And there's always a degree of fortune with making it away from the quad pickup. That time, he really took full advantage.
50 just get demolished by Kinku's shotgun there. Teams are tied. LG pick up again for Ellie. They've had a lot of LGs, a lot of yellow. Let's have a look at the stats actually. 14 to 4 on the yellow, 16 to 2 on the reds. Advantage armor wise is going to Sitto at the moment. We can't see that weapon pickups, which will probably be the most interesting thing in TDM. Zyrinx rushing through with that rocket kill is now. Grabbed himself a lightning gun and he's on the rail perch. Pick up 2 easy kills there.
I mean, I think a player like Zyrinx, if he was to take these guns back to red, and if he was to just start taking red, moving out, coming back when it's due up again.
Missed out on that red because he wasn't aggressive when his team attacked him. He was just a little bit later, though he wasn't really strong enough to survive anyway.
We haven't seen anyone on Sitto, playing that dominant red game that players in the past have played.
You can afford, once you've got a railgun there, just to sit one guy there at red. He doesn't need to move out too far because he could just rail across the map in the dangerous positions over to the bridge, over to the rail. In fact, he can control a lot of the rail play just by standing at red with a railgun.
Yeah, none of them have really tried to do that yet.
Quad. And it's instantly obliterated on purchase. And then it's the rush back to red. That was the traditional way of playing it. So you can get to red first. On this occasion, it looks like LE. And they're going to grab this one because, of course, Spawns did steal that previous red, so they knew a time on it. They are now 10 frags behind Sitto. That's a great rocket by Dimitri J. Another good rocket.
Good from Q50 though, not to drop his rail. Something we didn't see enough of on DM7.
These rockets are very nice from Dimitri.
That was especially. Could argue it was an easy mid-air, but still very nice.
Still a mid-air.
Yeah, ammo. And I've seen frag movies include mid-airs that are literally in gauntlet range, so makes that one very nice.
Chubb's going to make this jump terrible. Oh my god, made it. It looks so bizarre. Did get the railgun, just passed it off to a teammate. That's going to cycle around a bit. Spawns, lightning gun in hand. 225's picked. Yellow's up in a second, and they've kept a good time on that. You can see as the map's going on, Sitto are aggressing more and more on this yellow armour. And you've got to be a little bit worried if you're LE, especially if they're still getting the reds, Sitto.
I don't think they are at the moment.
Let's have a look. Let's cycle around. See the Sitto team now that all this yellow side. Now Flash has a railgun. He can hit some rails in at the red. And he does hit one, but he's given away the rail to Chubbs. Flash off the spawn! It's kind of silly. 10 frag difference. 10 seconds to go before the first quad of the second half of this map on Campgrounds. Sitto in the lead at the moment. They're at the barrel of the quads as well. Quad picks up by Dimitri again. He's got the best timing of it seems. Did just survive, get a couple of frags before going down. Ellie Spawns grabbing that yellow right in front of Q50, but he's not going to get too much out of it. He did manage to survive and get the frag. A lot of the fighting has been around this lightning gun yellow area. And I think there's a few reasons for that. There's a lot of spawns around here, and obviously a lot of the key items.
I think to some extent as well, it's a lack of familiarity with the map in high level play, because you don't necessarily have to be down and around the lightning gun area and the yellow. You don't have to be right down in it to actually do a lot of damage in that area. I mean, you can just stand on the bridge if you've got a red armor, and they can never come back onto it. You know, the only way up is the staircase or the bounce pad. It just seems like people are trying to play right in the areas rather than shooting into them from afar.
Kinku with that LG pickup. He went to get the yellow even though a teammate took it in front of him. Now going to make it to the bridge. Q50 takes a lot of LG damage, but good rocket play. Really nice placed rockets, and of course he did get that lightning gun. Good kill on Chubbs as well.
Yeah, see, he can just sit on the bridge rather than ever look to drop down, because, you know, he can catch people off spawn if they spawn on the bridge or on the staircase.
Nice job by Q50. They did miss out on the yellow, but of course they've got to be cautious trying to get onto the bridge now.
Yeah, because he's lost his position.
Wow, nice rocket there. Very controlled. 20 seconds before the power up, and this is the kind of map you can try and set it up, but it's not exactly the kind of map you're going to set up 40 seconds before, like you might on Dreadful Place or something. You literally 5 seconds before is about the amount of time you have to set it up. Q50 could get caught out here. The drop down. Good defense though. And Dimitri in again. He's escaped the area for what, the third time?
He's got a knack of picking up the quad and surviving.
Oh, he's got a rail at the red. Get the 50. Get the red. Could be in a nice position.
Is he going to be patient enough? Does he know the time?
He is. 60% rail, by the way. 40% LG for Dimitri. Rushing over to that side of the map. Missed his first rail shot. He could get a few frags here. Oh my god, the rocket, and then LG ripped him to shreds. He did look very excited about that, though. Almost like he thought he was invulnerable.
A bit too excited, wasn't he, to get in there and do damage.
Kinku's hitting 39% LG, 60% rail. I think we've seen a fair bit of him with LG as well. Just waiting in on this yellow. Not perfectly accurate timing, but it's going to pick it up anyway. Q50 and Zarik's going to follow. Third excellent of the map. It hasn't got a weapon though now. There hasn't been much aggression on the red. It just surprises me a little bit. Like, spawns here could be a great position to rail in at that red. They could take it over. With the railgun, he's got support from teammates. Not going to do it though. I mean,
and even if he doesn't look to take it over, it's just about doing damage as the red is being picked up.
Stopping red having an effect on the game. I
mean,
mean,
one rail kind of nullifies red to an extent.
From what we've seen, and we haven't seen everything to be fair, it doesn't look like Sitto are using red that effectively. That's great play by Spawns though. A couple of frags there on that rail position. Oh, it's going to be unlucky though that Q50 just wandered round the corner.
This is good from Zyrinx. He's up using the red, he's secured rail, even though he's dropped straight off it. He's already lost his stack. But that's just being a bit too eager to do damage rather than make sure you're getting the next pick up of an important item.
It's what we've seen a few times. Red armor's going to be... No, Kinku
doesn't know the time.
Going to drop on the quad. And he actually went down and died to the quad, so... Missed out on the red and the quad and went down to it. It's fed them a kill. Switch around to Q50. Kinku did actually get that red armor off the spawn, so... I guess it wasn't all bad. 10 frags is the difference. We're going into the last quarter of this second map. Remember, Ellie took the first map. So if they win this, they win.
One frag,
win the
very
game.
Close affair. This is looking like it's going to be a very close finish as well.
Hidden Fortress is the third map, by the way, if required. It's like 3 really aggressive maps today. Wow, Chubb's getting a plasma kill on Zyrinx, who hit a nice rocket. This is it. Oh my god. That's a really good counter by Dimitri. He wasn't messing around.
Yeah, he knew that if he was absolutely fully aggressive, that there wouldn't be a chance to rail him as he came around the corner.
Let's look at the scoreboard for a second, see who's doing especially well. No one's really standing out in those stats.
Well, Dimitri's having a really good game. It's only until recently that Zyrinx went ahead of him in the net. Well, not net, but damage.
Kinku picking up a lot of items there, but I mean, he's not looking that strong. 68 health, that's one rail can kill him. Does take out Q50. They've had a good lock on this bridge, really. Wow, that's a nice rocket. Could do with a little bit of health here. The 225s are very tempting to move over towards, and he's got a good position to do some damage at the red armor player. Wow, that's a good rocket. pace slowed a little bit more?
It does seem to have, doesn't it? But look at the score, it's narrowed even further.
Here's that quad. Zyrink's picking it up, but he's eliminated. Often, I find that players will just almost commit suicide to grab the quad, but if your whole team does that...
Yeah, it's very risky. You know, if you've had control and your whole team does do that, you've just reset control. It's like we saw Kinko on the previous one where he didn't wait for the red. He probably didn't know the time, but it would have actually been more advisable for him to just stay at red, try and control it rather than go to quad.
We saw he
That's
actually
often
had
the case.
0 effect at quad because
Yeah, exactly.
he didn't hit a shot and just died.
You know, if you have the opportunity to maintain a stack, or if you've got weapons, it's often advisable that you don't commit yourself to quad. Because, you know, the likelihood is you could go to quad with 200 armor, and, you know, we've seen in the past that that's not enough sometimes to actually pick it up and survive. But if you'd have just maintained that stack, you know, you'd have been a force to be reckoned
I'll
with.
tell you how many
as
times I've watched someone like Fox, legendary TDM player, barely even go to quad when he's got control of red armor. He
Well,
keeps
he
the
would
upper
cover
positions,
it.
covering with a rail. Probably
Yeah, he
kill
would
the
try
quad
and-
and then just wander back to
Yeah,
red.
exactly.
Pick up a
You'd
couple
be
of
at the
frags.
quad, but in a safe position. Because, you know, you see in this game how many people commit themselves down in the pit, and if you're someone who's, you know, a calm, steady aimer, stood above them, just picking them all off with rail down in that pit.
Yeah, we haven't seen people really taking too much advantage of that in this game thus far. Looks like 2 players attacking in here against Zyrinx on the red armor. Chubbs and Kinku, they're going to be eliminated. Pretty comfortable kill there. About 10 frag difference.
It's a nice rail into
Wow.
Zyrinx.
He's not happy about that. He's just sort of starting to get a built-up stack. And to be fair...
So what I'd have liked to have seen on this map is they try to get Zyrinx a rail, and he sort of plays that position where you sit at the red and just you hit everything towards rail.
Quad picked up by Dimitri again for Sitto. He is dispatched pretty quickly. He's done a very good job grabbing that one. But to be fair, I mean, you could just have him grabbing it. You don't need the rest of the team to dive in there. If he's timing it so perfect to land on it. That is the last quad of the map. And
I think they've got just
8
enough of a
frags.
lead here, Sitto, to be fairly comfortable to see this out.
what do you do here? Just go to red, secure it out. If you got it, they got weapons. Oh, caught in the air, Dimitri. Looks like this
Spawns has got the opportunity to take this
final
final red.
Here we go, Spawns. You've got to make something of this. Lightning gun doesn't have that much ammo, but it's enough for a kill. Oh! And he didn't get the kill quick enough, so he's just get caught out there.
You got red in the back.
Yeah. Looks like Sitto are going to take this second map, so we will go to a third. It's going to be Hidden Fortress.
Yeah, and that'll be an interesting third map because, you know, as strong as Sitto are on it, I feel Ellie, they're a pretty strong team on it as well, and it could be close.
So, quick commercial break.